Hey everybody, this is Louise, and I just want to talk about a few things today. I know I talked about what it means to be kind of spiritually woke, or people say spiritually awaken, or what a dark night of the soul means, those kind of things. And I don't always want to keep this channel very heavy, but I do want to keep it real with the different things that we talk about. Today I want to talk about what it feels like to learn how to create a better connection, is what I'd like to call it, with my spirit guides or spirits. And actually anyone and everyone can do this because it's all around us. So I'll give an example of when I started really noticing things, and people call it like synchronicities of things happen. Sorry, I'm just trying to get this laid out right. So have you ever had a time where, we'll say music, we'll go with music, where when you listen to music, how you really interact with that song and how it feels. And, and so, when I had everything happen and I went to treatment, and I started getting real with everything with me, I started realizing that certain songs triggered certain emotions, and everybody knows that with themselves. But what I really started to notice is, like, whenever I was listening, say you're listening to the radio, I was listening to the radio, and I would hear a song and I really didn't want to hear that song, but yet I would switch the channel and that same song is playing on another radio. That's when I learned, I had this aha moment about the fact that my spirit was calling to me and talking to me through this song in a way that I needed to hear the message, because spirits don't, talk to us like how I'm talking to you right now, but what they do is they do come through some way to be able to talk to you about different things going on and to try to give you answers. I know that we're living in a time now where things are changing, and for a lot of people, it's not just for me, it's, there's a lot of people things are changing for. And I know that when I start getting down to what my real truth is, and staying in a conscious contact with something greater than myself, I am able to listen and see things better when I don't use those. It is not by accident that we are talking today, or that you came across my YouTube channel and about challenges that are going on in your life. And one of the things that I am learning about is how to keep that contact. So, like the other day when I draw a rune and the thing that I'm talking about ends up resonating with whatever I drew and what I draw for cards, it is divine intervention at its finest coming through to let me know that I'm on the right path of what I need to be doing. So many times in my life, I have had times where I have two roads and I just don't know which road to choose. Do I choose this road or do I choose this road? Do I keep where I'm at and being miserable, or do I break free of this misery to excel into a different way so that I can be a better person? And all in all, my whole life is all I want to do is help people, and I want to be a better person. And I know that the things that I have been through in life that are the real issues come down to, one, I have an issue with feeling like I am that I have real self-worth, that I'm worthy of anything, much less, am I worthy of love? When I don't have anything physically to offer to people, is there really something I can still offer to people? And it's because it goes down to a self-worth problem that I have. And with that self-worth problem, I create different kinds of obstacles and opportunities in my life to realize that, or cycles, that cause me to realize that I have been going through life in a way that has been all upside down up until now. I have had issues with people pleasing, which when I say people pleasing, what that means is that I will do things for you or be there because I like to feel like the Captain Save-A-Ho or whatever you want to call it, kind of person, or I will give you things, but in a secret contract saying that I did this for you. Now, when I need the repayment back, that you'll remember that. And, and what ends up happening is I cause myself a lot of harm because people aren't there when you expect them to be. And it's because I put an expectation on it. And that's not okay to do. It's not okay to go through life making these secret contracts that only I know about, and then I bring them up at a later date so that I can stay in this lower level of thinking that causes me to feel like I'm not worth anything because of whatever reason. And it disturbs my peace of mind. And it takes away from the love that I should be giving to myself instead of focusing on other people. Now, the only reason why I created this YouTube channel and I wanted to do this was because of the fact is that I've gotten to a point where I can admit honestly the things that I've done, or the behaviors I've had, so that I can move forward in my journey and to be able to reach out and help other people. I will not talk about anything on this channel that I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, unless I've already been through it, or I am still going through it. There will be times that I cry, and there will be times that I'm happy, and there will be times that I'm just like, but it's through this journey of being able to do this, even if it reaches out to help one person each day, I am truly grateful for that, because it means that it's one person out there that doesn't have to feel like they're alone in that issue. And so we will talk about some real deep shit on this channel too. And they're just through my experiences. It doesn't mean that my experiences or the way that I see it is right or that it's wrong. It just means that this is what's worked for me to be able to be who I am today and how I've came to be who I am today. Back along with spirits and spirit guides talking to you, you will see synchronicities in your life, like say you were thinking of a major question, or you're in a time of despair, and something comes on TV, through the radio, somebody calls or something like that, and you realize, I was just thinking about that, and that you are able to hear your higher being talking to you to give you the answer. And so my inspiration for doing this is because my higher beings came through to me to tell me that I can do this because I've had the inspiration from other people that I watch on YouTube channels, and they're really awesome people. They want to just help, and that's all I want to do is help. So I don't care if you come on here and you want to create disturbance or you want to be negative. The thing is I've already had so much negativity in my life that I'm getting to a point that I can take it as a compliment now to realize that it's just an opportunity for me to rise above and look at something different and to go about things in a better way. Have I been lost in trying to figure this out? Yeah, I fucking have. Am I still searching for more answers and to figure out more? Yep, sure am. But it's through this ability to become unattached and unaffected by others is how I gain my sanity in life. And that's the beautiful point of this whole situation. So enough for today. And I'm gonna draw a rune to go with our thing. So here it is. If you are interested in runes, I highly suggest, because runes talk, like, I use these as my way to gain more perspective for my higher self to talk to me, because I am such a stubborn fool that sometimes I don't listen as well as I should, because I'm using too much of this and too much of in here, that I really need to understand that God gave me 2 ears and 2 eyes so that I can hear and see, which then in process can come into my heart and be able to come back out to give to other people. And then that's when my mouth should speak. So today, let's draw one for a collective, I guess is what they call it, on our journey. And today I got an M, which is kind of similar to the other one, but this one is just the M. An M in this, it means movement. So I'll read it to you because I like to read, and then you can gain your perspective out of it, because it's not about just my perspective. This is a journey for all of us together, and there may be something specific in here that really relates to what you need today. But the book that I read out of in the runes that I got is called The Book of Runes, and it's by Ralph H. Blum. He did a lot of work to create this book, and I use this as my handbook to do this. I'm not a religious person, but I can tell you I'm a very spiritual person, and the runes have been around a lot longer than Christianity, and it's been around for a long time, and it's just a way to be able to help us connect. And that's all that these tools are for, like tarot cards, runes. They're all for just insight into gaining some knowledge. So like I said, we drew movement for progress, and it's also the horse in some areas, and it's called Ehwaz, and I believe that's how you say it. Ehwaz is a rune of transit, transition, and movement, of physical shifts, new dwelling places, new attitudes, or new life. It also signifies movement in the sense of improving or bettering a situation. There is about this rune a sense of gradual development and steady progress, with the accompanying notion of slow growth through numerous shifts and changes. This could apply to the growth of a business or development of an idea. A relationship may need to undergo changes if it is to live and grow. Moral effort and steadfastness are called for when you draw movement. Another of the cycle runes. Let it be said that this way: as I cultivate my own nature, all else follows. This rune symbol is of the horse, and it signifies the bond between horse and rider. The Bronze Age artifacts show a horse drawing the sun across the sky. How isn't that awesome? And here Ehwaz is saying you have progressed far enough to feel a measure of safety in your position. Now it is time to turn again and face the future, reassured, prepared to share the good fortune that comes your way. The sharing is significant since it relates to the sun's power to foster life and illuminate all things with its light. How awesome that we're talking about that today. Anyways, about just movement in a direction and changing and growing. Every day is about change and growth. We are not the same person as we were yesterday or 2 days ago or 10 years ago. We are not that same person because we are always in movement. We are always learning, and not one person doesn't learn every day, and that's the real gift of life too. To be able to start this channel up and reach out to people, I don't know where it's going to go or how it's going to go, but I want to see how far it can go, and to accept every person that wants to go on this journey with me. And I really, really appreciate everybody. Today, let's draw some cards. Now, I blessed my cards before I started this. I did some sage on them and stuff like that, and switched them around so that they're all facing up right now, because I really like to do non-reversals. But like I said, I read these cards the way that I feel in what I see. There's no right way or wrong way to read anything. And I don't want people to get hung up on that part. It's just whatever is meant for you today is what you get for today. And that's how I live it. But I do want to ask that Divine Spirit to come through, and whatever message that I'm meant to give through these cards to people and for myself, that we do that. Eventually, I'd like to be able to go live on this channel. I just want to be able to hit, so many subscribers, I guess, or likes. Which reminds me, if you like what I had to say today, please go ahead and hit the like button or hit the dislike. It doesn't matter to me. But I appreciate you just putting the time and effort in. Thank you to whoever. Some of the people that I gain my inspiration from, that I think are really awesome is, and you could go check out their YouTube channels also, is Tyler's Tarot, Soul Source, and Archangel. They are really awesome. I also like Rich Loop. He does a great job too. The one thing I'm learning through my journey while I'm shuffling these is that the issues that we have in life, or the gifts that we get or that we have, doesn't always necessarily mean that it's one gender or the other. It means that it's all around. And what a great gift to be able to be so diverse in understanding this. I'm going to do one more shuffle, and then we will get our message. Okay. So I just want people to know that whatever your perception is in life on how things should be, that's an expectation, and expectations only lead to disappointments. Now that's some powerful shit. It also helps me to realize that I'm not in control of anything else but myself and my own life. And when I stay in that kind of focus, a lot of things don't bother me as much. And that's the important thing. So I just want to ask the cards to give us a wonderful, wonderful information on today, and see what we got. Okay. Okay. So I did 3 cards. The first one is going to be the Emperor. The next one is the Five of Wands. And the Knight of Swords. Okay. So, for me, the Emperor is, if you want to do astrology or whatever, it is my astrology sign. I'm an Aries. But I'm also, I'm on the cusp. I'm an Aries-Pisces mix, kind of thing. My sun sign's in Aries. My ascending thing is in Pisces. So, that's the beginning and the end kind of thing. But what I get from this is, from whatever kind of powerful figure that you had, or whatever, that is going on in your life, there's been a lot of fighting physically to maintain this kind of boundary or this ground level. And I just want you to know that in the cards that I see, there's a couple things that I see. I see with the Emperor that he's standing above the world, and that he is somebody that could be a he or it could be a she. It's somebody who's a powerful figure. Somebody that, I would consider not here, but they're up here. And since this is the Emperor and it's of the major arcana, I would probably say that this is somebody that is a very powerful figure. You know, sometimes in the eyes of a child, a parent is God. And so when I look at this card, it is of action. And when I say that, I don't know why I had to say that, but it's the person who can give you the most and best advice if you ask for it in the right way. And that they are somebody who is of action. And I don't know if there's been a lot of fighting going on with some people, but I can tell you I've seen two things in here which drew my attention. And one was there are little mice down here, and there's some butterflies. And butterflies to me are about transformation. And you know, mice scurry around the ground, but yet they can smell so well, and they're so quiet. And so when I think of the Five of Wands, I always think of, you know, yeah, there may be a lot of fighting, but the fighting that you're having has to do with the mentalness that you have going on, because to me, the Knight of Swords are about mental thinking, and how these two, when you put them together, they're like, where I'm seeing them is like this. And so somebody is going to be rushing in with some good information that can help you in a way to stop this conflict that's going on, so that you can transform and with the butterflies. This could also be family fighting. But it's, the fact is that something's coming in to give you a message to understand that they will cut the fighting out for you. This is also about looking at the past with your thoughts on all this fighting that's going on with whoever this person was. And I just want you to know that you don't have to live in the past anymore, because tomorrow's a new day. And the more that you keep in the thoughts of fighting and just not giving it up and just laying it down with whoever this was, the harder it is for this guy to come through, you know? I guess it would be like this. This is how it would be on here for you guys. Stop looking back at the past, because you can't change the fucking past with your thoughts anymore. But what you can do is you can learn and grow from these situations to become a better person who understands that shit happens in our life, but it's about the fact, are you going to get back on this fucking horse so that you can ride off into the sunset, or are you going to just sit there and keep thinking about this shit and never do anything about it? You know, if you want to transform into that butterfly that's in the grass hiding because they want to fly, you got to let go of this, because this doesn't matter anymore. And I can tell you in my life what this means to me is the fact that the dark night of the soul, the things that I did to relapse, you know, I had an arrogant attitude. Well, two things happened. One, I had an arrogant attitude of that, you know, this person's never going to leave me, even if I tell them, because they don't fucking, you know, they love me too much. And I remember that day saying that to myself, and this is me speaking my truth, because it's really real. Quite the opposite happened. They left me. And they're in charge, and they're an Aries too, and they're in charge of, you know, our son. They divorced me. You know, whatever. But I kept reliving in this past of all these fights. And the fact is that I was never really happy in this marriage in the first place. So I was thinking, whatever, right? Whatever. But here's where the other part that comes in that really sucks, and I keep trying to learn how to forgive myself about, is thinking about all this stuff, is that how this person likes to tell me that our life was so great, but it wasn't. Because there was always this fighting stuff. There was a lot of narcissistic behaviors going on. You know, I became a very passive person. I pretty much almost crawled up and died. I had some things that triggered me with a PTSD moment because of some stuff with, you know, a family member of mine. And what it did is brought up some severe things in my past that I thought I'd dealt with that I didn't. To the point of also looking back at it after everything was said and done. Man, how could you not see that I was messed up? You know, even friends, I talked to them about it and stuff like that. And one is like I felt pretty powerful being sneaky and being like I got one over on people. But really, when it comes down to it, I felt really fucking lonely, because the one thing that I do know is that I would have picked it up on someone else and I would have called them on their shit. Regardless if they would have liked it or not, I would have fucking called them on it. And not one person did. So the next thing that ends up going through my mind is when I look back at all of it, it was a ticking time bomb to release me from this shit. And why do I keep living back in this with this person when my thoughts are so powerful that I'm trying to be that butterfly that's trying to fly, you know? So today what I want to tell you is, if you have some kind of conflict going on in your life, or you had some conflict that rocked you to your fucking core, look at what positive things that you have now so that you can move forward. And that will be the start of today. I love you, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to me. If you have any comments, please go ahead, feel free to, because I really need to know that I'm connecting with people. And tomorrow we'll talk about something else. I love you. Peace out, everybody.